Welcome back to USA News, your go-to source for the biggest stories and breaking updates from across the United States. If you want to stay ahead of the news, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Let's dive straight into today's top story. Healthcare fraud scandal explodes. Doctor accused in $89 million scheme that may have cost a teen athlete his life. A massive healthcare fraud crackdown is sending shockwaves across America. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced criminal charges against 455 individuals in what officials are calling one of the largest healthcare fraud takedowns in history. Authorities say the schemes involved more than $6.5 billion in false insurance claims, targeting taxpayers, vulnerable patients, and even young student athletes. But among all the cases, one allegation is drawing national attention for a heartbreaking reason. Prosecutors say a Florida-based heart screening operation not only defrauded insurance companies of millions of dollars, it may have contributed to the death of a teenage athlete. Here's what investigators say happened. Federal prosecutors have charged Drive. Jason Finkelstein, a 53-year-old cardiologist, with healthcare fraud and conspiracy. According to the indictment, Finkelstein allegedly participated in an $89 million scheme that operated from 2019 through the end of 2024. Authorities claim the business targeted college and student athletes by promoting cardiac screenings designed to detect potentially deadly heart conditions. The marketing message was simple but powerful. What if an undiagnosed heart condition caused a young athlete to collapse on the field? Investigators say fear became a sales tool. According to court documents, emails were sent to athletic trainers and school officials claiming the screenings could identify life-threatening conditions that might prevent athletes from competing safely. Prosecutors also allege that incentives and kickbacks were offered to encourage referrals. But there's a major problem. Insurance companies generally do not cover blanket heart screenings unless there is a documented medical necessity. That's why prosecutors say fake diagnoses, including hypertension and elevated blood pressure, were allegedly submitted to insurers for athletes who didn't actually have those conditions. Authorities say millions of dollars in claims followed. Even more disturbing are allegations surrounding the review of test results. According to investigators, Finkelstein routinely certified cardiac tests as normal without personally examining them. In one example cited by prosecutors, he allegedly approved approximately 63 cardiac images from a single patient just 11 seconds after opening the file. Officials say those images actually revealed a significantly enlarged heart. The teenager later collapsed and died while playing basketball. Federal authorities have not publicly identified the young athlete, but the allegation has become one of the most emotional aspects of the case. News of the charges sparked outrage across social media and among healthcare professionals. Many Americans expressed anger that a system meant to protect patients could allegedly be manipulated for profit. Others questioned how vulnerable families and young athletes could trust medical screenings if the accusations proved true. Healthcare experts say cases like this damage public confidence and make it harder for legitimate providers who follow the rules and genuinely care for patients. During the Justice Department announcement, officials emphasized that these crimes go far beyond financial fraud. They argued that this isn't simply about stolen taxpayer dollars. It's about trust. Families trust doctors with their children's health. Athletes trust medical professionals to tell them whether they're safe to compete. Patients trust that test results are being reviewed carefully and honestly. Prosecutors say that trust was betrayed. Even Mehmet Oz, now leading the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, strongly condemned the allegations, calling the operation a predatory scheme disguised as healthcare. It's important to remember that these are allegations, and Dr. Finkelstein has pleaded not guilty. The case will ultimately be decided in court. But regardless of the outcome, this investigation highlights a growing federal effort to crack down on healthcare fraud nationwide. With 455 people charged and billions of dollars in alleged fraudulent claims uncovered, officials say they're sending a clear message: exploiting patients and taxpayers for personal profit will not go unchallenged. As this case moves forward, many Americans will be watching closely, not just for accountability, but for answers about how such a massive scheme was able to operate for years. And perhaps most importantly, whether future tragedies can be prevented before another family receives devastating news. Stay tuned for more updates as this story develops.